between the Lakers and Grizzlies. Ja Morant listed as a game-time decision after leaving Game 1 midway through the fourth with a hand injury. I mean, he was screaming and crying coming. You know how much that has to hurt for a professional athlete to do that in front of the cameras? Memphis is 11-10 without Ja this season. Lakers are hoping for more big performances from guys like Rui Hachimura, who was left wide open, and Austin Reeves, who just gave him that work, which he's been doing all year, actually, in Game 2. Hachimura, game-high 29 off the bench. Reeves, 23 down the stretch. Both shot over 60% from the field, and if the Lakers are victorious tonight, go up 2-0. History likes their chances to win the series. LeBron-led teams have won 24 straight series when taking a 2-0 lead. Dave McMenamin with me now for more on Game 2 tonight in Memphis. Dave, how are the Lakers preparing for tonight without knowing whether or not Ja will play?
Max, they're saying that they're preparing as if he's going to play. Actually, after practice yesterday, I read Tim McMahon's tweet about what was happening at Grizzlies practice, that the fact that Ja Morant was on the practice court without a brace on his hand, and he was taking some left-handed shots in the moment. I read it to a member of the Lakers, and he goes, oh, he's going to play for sure. So they think he's going to play, but more so their preparation, it's the unknown of how well Morant can play. They know how well they can play. And the Lakers looked at their 16 turnovers in Game 1, leading to 15 points to the Grizzlies as problematic and something they can correct and clean up going into Game 2.
So LeBron's supporting cast stole the show in Game 1. What are the Lakers saying about LeBron's Game 1 performance, Dave?
Yeah, I talked to Darvin Ham about it because obviously LeBron's overall numbers were pretty strong. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, a couple steals, a couple blocked shots. But player tracking data showed that he only had 5 drives to the hoop, which would suggest maybe that right foot of his that had the torn tendon in it that caused him to miss a month late in the season could still be bothering him. But I asked Darvin Ham, and he said, no, LeBron's just reading the defense, taking what they give him. Memphis's defensive schemes call for packing the paint. Darvin said their antennas get even higher when LeBron has the ball, and so he doesn't really anticipate LeBron trying to force things. So long as he can continue to dissect the defense the way he did it in Game 1, they'll be just fine. And also, LeBron's going to have 2 days rest going into Game 2, so maybe you'll see some more drives just by having more pep in his step.
Thank you, Dave McMenamin. Monica, Tim, this series is over. And we're going to look back at this series because Ja Morant, you saw the way he came
declaring a lot of things over.
That's right. It's over.
A lot of things are over.
Both series are over. This series, and it kills me because you saw Ja Morant coming off the court. Guys, he was screaming in pain. Even if he comes back, he's not. He's a shooter. He's not just a guy who flies over people. And by the way, good luck, as Jay Will points out, everyone's coming down on your hand because they know it's hurt. Even if they're at full strength, I still like the Lakers by a little in a long series. But I think that we're heading now for a situation where 2 seasons in a row, we're going to be like, wow, look how well they played even without Ja. They extended the series, but ultimately lose. Where are you guys on this?
Yeah, I hate this. For me, the part about not seeing a Memphis team in the postseason that is whole yet, I find to be incredibly disappointing, just in terms of someone who has enjoyed the run of this team. I don't know. It's bleak. It's certainly an uphill battle. The Lakers would have to let go of the rope and revert to some bad habits pre-trade deadline. I see what you did there. Pre-trade deadline at this point, in my mind, for them to fall apart.
Look, the Lakers won Game 1 in large part because Rui Hachimura had the game of his life, right? He's a guy who hit 4 threes in a game once in his career. He hit 5 threes in that game alone, scored, I think, 30 points. And they're probably not going to get that kind of performance 3 more times in the series. They might not get it 1 more time in the series.
From Hachimura.
No, and they also don't have a lot of other guys on the team that are going to shoot like that. So I certainly think Memphis can very easily win this game. We saw Anthony Davis. We all thought for a moment at the end of the first half of Game 1 that Anthony Davis's season was over because he said he couldn't move his arm, right? Which obviously he came back and played, but it's a reminder of how precarious the Lakers' health situation is. We're 1 bad step for LeBron, 1 injury from AD, from the series flipping back the other way. So I don't think this thing is over. I think Memphis can win today. But I also think if you look at Game 1, AD dominated in the paint. The Lakers had the blueprint to win the game. That was their path to win the series. AD was the best player on the court. If they stick to that path, that blueprint going forward, they absolutely can and probably should win the series.
LeBron didn't even have his A game, guys, and they still won with Ja in the game most of the time. Lakers going to win this. Okay, you're right, barring injury, which because of AD's history, you never know in LeBron's age and all that. But by the way, D'Angelo Russell, Beasley, none of these guys can hit 4 threes in a game easily. And Austin Reeves does not score by accident. That's
Well,
on purpose because he's good.
I didn't mention Austin Reeves for a reason because he is good.
Yeah, I'm saying the Lakers got more than enough, man.
Established.
They now have the two best players in the series and a good supporting
To be
cast.
clear, obviously, if Ja Morant is compromised for the rest of the series, that's a huge problem for Memphis. I just also don't think the series is over. Memphis wins tonight. It's a live series again.
If the Lakers don't suffer a major injury to LeBron or AD, are the Grizzlies in contention to win this series?
They're in contention to win it, absolutely.
Sorry, I can't accept that answer. Coming
You're
up.
not saying the series is over after one
Says
game.
right here he's wrong.
One game.
Tim, thank you so much for the update. And look, this is a different situation for the Lakers, who could see two different teams tonight, depending on whether or not Ja Morant plays. With Morant, the Grizzlies win over 65% of their games and do so by over a 5-point margin. Without him, they're about a 500 basketball team with a negative overall point differential. So let's make some sense of this. Our NBA reporter Dave McMenamin joins us now live from Memphis. All right, we're still unsure if Ja Morant's going to be able to go tonight for Game 2. So how are the Lakers preparing for this game with the uncertainty of Morant's availability?
Well, one, the Lakers recognize that the Grizzlies did quite well during the regular season when Morant missed time. They were still an elite team in the Western Conference, so you still have that same level of respect for them as opponent, and also know that they're going to hit you on the glass, and that's not really about Ja Morant. And they are good at filling the lanes and running when you turn the ball over. And obviously, they are better when Ja Morant's involved with that, but all the other pieces know how to fill in around Tyus Jones just as well. Now, after the Lakers practice yesterday, some of us were milling around the court, and I actually read Tim McMahon's tweet about Ja Morant's practice status, saying that he was on the court, not wearing a brace, and taking shots with his left hand to a member of the Lakers. And that member said, "Oh, come on, he's playing."
Okay, well, we'll take his word for it, I guess, at this point. We'll obviously see it in just a couple of hours. Now, the Lakers already took Game 1 on the road, so how is Los Angeles, and this might go without saying considering it's the playoffs, but stay with me here. How is Los Angeles keeping that sense of urgency after already stealing the home court advantage from Memphis?
Yeah, the goal in coming to Memphis as the number 7 seed was just to leave with a split against the number 2 seed. They did their work early in Game 1 on Sunday, but Austin Reeves told us that really the message coming from LeBron James and Anthony Davis before they started this postseason journey, after they made it into the playoffs by winning that play-in game and that first address from AD and LeBron, it was all about, we've been dialed in desperation mode for 2 months now, but everything has to ratchet up more. The intensity has to get even higher, and so they want to try to stay in that same mode of not feeling comfortable at all in between Sunday's Game 1 and Wednesday's Game 2. It's a long time to put yourself in that type of mode, but certainly they reminded themselves about it yesterday at practice, and they want to come out tonight and make it 2-0. Go back to L.A. With a chance to really put a stranglehold on this series.
Yeah, no doubt. And hey, if Ja is playing, which it sounds like the players believe he is, then maybe there's no advantage in that way. So going back to LA, obviously, with the 2-0 lead would be huge. Dave, thanks so much. We appreciate the insight.
How about this one? Golden State, we have a problem. You're down 0-2, and now Draymond Green suspended for Game 3 of tomorrow night's first-round playoff series against the Kings. Let's go back to Monday night, 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and this is what happened. Domantas Sabonis, he went down, grabbed Draymond's leg, and then he stomped. Draymond stomped on Sabonis' chest. Sabonis issued a flagrant 1, Draymond flagrant 2, and ejected, and he was taunting the crowd on his way to the locker room, of course. Here's the thing. Draymond Green has a very long history of issues in the most crucial times for his team. Let's take you back to the 2016 Western Conference Finals. Remember the low blow, the kick to Oklahoma City's Steven Adams? He wasn't suspended for the kick, but he was given a flagrant, had to pay a fine as well. And that actually happened a couple of times in that series. A week or so, actually about 2 weeks later, NBA Finals Game 4 against the Cavs. This, Green versus LeBron James. Dre was given another flagrant, led to his suspension from Game 5 of the Finals. And that really was the turning point in this series because the Cavs won the next 3 games, coming back from down 3-1 to win it all. Last season was more the same. Green was ejected in the second quarter of the conference semis, the opener against the Grizzlies, for grabbing Brandon Clark's jersey in the middle of a shot attempt. That also was a flagrant 2. It all leads up to what happened on Monday night, stepping on Domantas Sabonis on Monday. The NBA even announced in their statement of the suspension that Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts played a part in this decision. So are we surprised? Should we be surprised that Draymond was suspended for this? Here's Stephen A. and the First Take crew.
I'm disgusted.